What do you think makes the Earth go around the sun? What makes the Earth and all the other planets round like a ball?
What makes things fall?
Well, you can try, but you can't deny the force you see is gravity.
What is gravity?
I have no idea. Okay, next question.
The force you see is gravity.
Gravity. Feel the force.
You, me, the TV you're watching, and our home planet, the Earth, are all pulling on each other. That's gravity.
What is gravity?
I have no idea.
Everything, every piece of matter in the universe has gravity. And gravity always pulls. So big and massive is the Earth that it pulls on everything. It even holds the oceans on the Earth's surface.
What is gravity?
I have no idea. Okay, next question.
Wow.
No, here's the difference. We can describe gravity. We can say what it does to other things. We can measure it, predict with it. But when you start asking, like, what it is, I don't know.
Well, there's a horrible farty smell in here, and it's definitely not from my bottom.
If we take an open jar into space, to outer space, and close it once up, thereby filling it with the vacuum of space, what would happen if we bring it to Earth level atmosphere and even to the International Space Station?
It would be the best vacuum we would have ever encountered on Earth, ever.
Yeah, we called it a bullshit.
Really?
Yes. We can't
Better.
make vacuums as good as space vacuums.
No way!
Really?
Yeah. Last I checked, we can't do it.
Unless
somebody last week pulled one off.
When I pull this, all pulling on each other. So big and massive is the Earth that it pulls on everything. Always pulls. It even holds the oceans.
Unless somebody last week pulled one off.
We can't have it as much as space is just
Space is a
top-notch.
far better vacuum than anything we've been able to create in our laboratory.
So why don't we always bring back jars of vacuum? I now have a new business where I'm going to sell jars of the best vacuum you've ever seen.
But I like the way the question was worded. It's like that when the vacuum gets inside the jar, what happens is the air inside the jar escapes.
No way. No way.
Oh, by the way, you might ask
Yeah.
if, quote-unquote, nature abhors a vacuum, which of course it doesn't because most of the universe is vacuum. How come all Earth's atmosphere doesn't just rush out into the vacuum of space?
It's true.
Hey, you
Why
might ask.
doesn't it?
Magic.
Because Earth has gravity, and the gravity keeps
The
the
vacuum.
atmosphere separate from the rest of the vacuum of space. That's all.
What is gravity?
I have no idea. Okay, next question.
Take a look at this. It's the gravitational tower of science. Up at the top, we have a bowling ball, about 7 kilograms, and an apple, about 100th of that. When I pull this cord, a trap door will spring open, and the apple and the bowling ball will go hurtling toward the center of the Earth. What do you think will happen? Well, you might think that since the bowling ball is heavier, it'll fall faster and land first. Don't bet on it. You ready? 3,
Potato.
2,
Potato.
1.
Potato.
You want to see it again on the instant replay close-up camera of science?
Feel the force.
Because Earth has gravity, and the gravity keeps
The
the
vacuum.
atmosphere separate from the rest of the vacuum of space. That's all.
What is gravity?
I have no idea. Okay, next question.
Considering gravity, if objects with mass are attracted towards each other, why hasn't there ever been an object massive enough to demonstrate that water would stick to it, as is claimed the oceans, lakes, and rivers do on a ball Earth?
It even holds the oceans on the Earth's surface.
And if the excuse is then given that the Earth's gravity would far supersede that of any other object, then how is it that the moon is said to affect water levels at sea level on Earth? Further, how is the combined mass of a helium-filled balloon repelled by the mass of the Earth? Or what up there is attracting the balloon to itself? Or are these really just the laws of density and buoyancy, with up and down actually existing as we perceive? Obviously, dense objects sink when placed in a less dense medium, and this law of density buoyancy perfectly explained the physics of falling objects long before Isaac Newton proposed his theory of gravity.
What is gravity?
I have no idea. Okay, next question.
Hey everybody, I got something here. It's going to, I mean, you're going to laugh, but hey, it's going to represent what you think Earth is. Would you agree Earth has to have an atmosphere, a pressurized atmosphere? I believe so. Don't that sound about right? A pressurized atmosphere. And we're going to say this represents the pressurized atmosphere, and all this out here is just space, infinite vacuum of space.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here's the question. I just discovered...
Wait, did I just say that? No, so...
Oh, wait.
No, a vacuum... I should have answered that completely differently.
Yeah.
Excellent!
So, a vacuum on Earth, we think of nature abhorring it because air wants to get inside the vacuum.
Air wants to go into the vacuum.
Air wants to go because you're in a place where there's air pressure that wants to get inside. As you get higher up in the atmosphere, the air pressure gets less and less and less and less and less. Because there's less air above it pressing down. And when you get less and less and less and less and less, the air doesn't want to do anything. It's got no forces. There's no air pressure to make it... It's just going to float away. Okay, so our atmosphere goes out thousands of miles, getting ever so thinner as it gets out there.
Magic.
And so it's not that Earth is holding the atmosphere down, although it is. It's that the air pressure out there has no urge to go anywhere other than just staying right where it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Check this out. I puncture the container of the pressurized atmosphere, and this represents pressure. This represents vacuum because it's high pressure, you know, against a low pressure. Out here is the low pressure. This is the high pressure. Boop. See what it does?
As you get higher up in the atmosphere, the air pressure gets less and less and less and less and less.
Now, how in the world can the Earth not have a physical container, such as the domed firmament that the Bible speaks of, to hold the atmosphere? A vacuum's always going to, without a physical barrier, a vacuum is always going to draw from the high pressure or give way to the high pressure. You understand?
Air wants to get inside the vacuum.
Air wants to go into the vacuum.
Air wants to go because you're in a place where there's air pressure that wants to get inside.
So just something to think about. I'm sitting here telling y'all that the Earth has a domed firmament. Like the Word of God says, the Word of God says the Earth is fixed and immovable. It also says it has a domed firmament on it. And, simple can of spray. High pressure meets low pressure. They don't coexist without a physical barrier.
So our atmosphere goes out thousands of miles, getting ever so thinner as it gets out there.
Magic.
High society, God's gift to ballroom notoriety, and I always fill my ballroom. The event is never small. The social pages say I've got the biggest balls of all. I've got big balls, I've got big balls, and they're such big balls, and they're dirty big balls, and he's got big balls, and she's got big balls. My ballroom always full, and everybody comes and comes again. If your name is on the guest list, no one can take you higher. Everybody says I've got great balls of fire. I've got big balls, I've got big balls, and they're such big balls, and they're dirty big balls. And he's got big balls, and she's got big balls. Some balls are held for charity and some for fancy dress, but when they're held for pleasure, they're the balls that I like best. My balls are always bouncing to the left and to the right. It's my belief that my big balls should be held every night.